everyone, it's Angela Nesbitt and welcome to My Color Story. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today we are celebrating everything green and everything spring. I am so excited for spring to be here and all that brings and all the happiness and outdoors and everything good. So today we are heading to the palette and mixing greens. So a big tutorial. If greens are your challenge, or if you're just interested in how artists make greens, I will be showing you how. So meet me on the palette. Welcome to the palette. We are mixing greens on this St. Patrick's Day week, and we are going to start with ultramarine blue, which is, I consider this kind of just a really natural, nature-like green. So ultramarine blue and cad yellow medium. Those are both impressionistic colors that are not, they're bright, but they're not super bright like some of our modern colors. And they you can get very close to natural nature-like colors with the Impressionist palette. So I'm just going to add a teeny bit of burnt sienna, acting as my red, to gray down this green. And it just makes a really nice mid-tone green. You can lighten that up easily, add a little bit of white, but more importantly, some more yellow to it so it doesn't get too pasty. I might have gotten a little too much there. Put a little bit more blue in it. And you can get into a really nice lighter value green. So next I'll look at cerulean blue, which is a greener blue than ultramarine blue. And let's play around with cad yellow light and see. I think here we're going to get much more of a bright springy green than we did with the ultramarine blue and the cad yellow medium. But we also can neutralize that down either with, sometimes I use a little yellow ochre too, just depending on what type of green I'm working with. And that can also just bring that intensity and saturation down just a little bit. So it's a little more lifelike and something that you would see in nature as well. So the cerulean, and you can work with all the different yellows, light, medium, and deep in the cads, and that will help you to control the value of your greens. So if I take the ultramarine blue with the cad yellow deep, which is darker in value than the other cad yellows, I will be able to get a little bit of a darker green. I put a little bit of burnt sienna in there. So you can play around with the different values too of your yellows. And then we can go in a totally different direction with a modern color. This is the phthalo blue, which is very strong color, has a lot of tinting strength, and a Hansa yellow, which is also a modern color and should result in a really bright green that is not very, as you can see the difference, is not very nature-like, but that's okay. Sometimes we want a different type of green that's not really something you see in nature. So this one is super bright, but you can also gray that down a little bit. Here I have a little cad red, so I can make it less intense.
but it's still, I'm gonna have to work really hard to get that one to look more like something I see outdoors. But that, if that's the type of green you want, then that's the way you want to go. So that was the phthalo and the Hansa yellow. So with greens, what's important is to really just get a lot of yellows and get a lot of blues and a few options for complements to gray them down, a little bit of white, and just start experimenting and seeing what you like and what works and what doesn't work. But just to recap, if you stay in the more impressionistic palette, like ultramarine blue and all the cad yellows, you're going to get more of a green that is something you'd see in nature. When you get into the modern colors, the phthalos, the Hansa yellows, you're going to get a much brighter, more not realistic green, which is great too for different types of work. So hope that helps. I hope everyone has a great St. Patrick's Day, and I'll see you next week. Take care.